What is going on, everybody? It is Ahmed, and I am back today with yet another video for you all. And today, guys, we're going to talk about what you see on the screen here, and that is the failure to bail out SVB by the Federal Reserve. Now, remember, as always, I like to preface by saying that I'm not a financial advisor, rather, just putting you guys on the plays that I'm in. And if you are new around here, make sure you consider smashing the like button down below and subscribing to the channel. So, Yellen rules out a bailout for the Silicon Valley Bank and says we are not going to do that again. There has been fears of contagion, other banks failing, the bank runs happening as soon as they open tomorrow on Monday. But I think, in my opinion, what I'm going to express is my personal thoughts and why I am not worried, especially if you're banking at bigger institutions with the likes of JP Morgan Chase, Wells Fargo, US Bank, BMO Harris. Any of those big names really have a lot of liquidity and capital backing them. But let's go ahead and dive in. CBS News did report saying here, Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said Sunday that the federal government will not provide a bailout for Silicon Valley banks. Investors after the bank was abruptly shuttered, but said financial regulators are concerned about the impact to depositors and are working to address their needs. And I think that's something that people are leaving off, especially around social media. Nobody's addressing the fact that the government is not going to leave everybody high and dry. They're going to ensure that people can still maybe meet payroll if you're a company, because SVB or Silicon Valley Bank, remember, it wasn't a typical bank with the majority of the individuals that were actually a part of their balance sheet or depositors being startups in Silicon Valley. So companies like Roblox, Etsy, the list goes on. A lot of those, and even crypto firms like Circle, for those of you that are crypto or people who are in crypto, know the significance of Circle, or even companies like BlockFi. But we know BlockFi already went under, so let's not go into that rabbit hole. But regardless, it says here, during the financial crisis, there were investors and owners of systemic large banks that were bailed out, Yellen said in an interview with the Face the Notion on Sunday. And the reforms that have been put in place means we're not going to do that again. But we are concerned about depositors and are focused on trying to meet their needs. So again, she gave us the information that we really wanted to hear. And in my opinion, though this is the biggest bank failure, second biggest bank failure in the last 40 years in the United States, after Washington Mutual in 2008, I still believe, again, there is integrity and there should be faith, I should say, in our central banking systems in the United States. Now, there's a read on Twitter that I would highly encourage anybody that is on social media right now to potentially read. It's from this account right here that goes by the name ProfessorStam.eth. He said, I worked in bank liquidity and treasury for the better part of the last decade. So 10 years of experience. The majority of people that are posting on Twitter, posting on Facebook, or any of these things, probably within your small network, are spreading what we call fear, uncertainty, and doubt, which is other named as FUD. Now, there is one very interesting risk factor from SVB collapse that I do not think we have ever witnessed before in modern finance. And he said it as a thread. So again, I would encourage you guys to read it. It would take me about probably 10 minutes to go through and do it for the video. But for the purposes of your ears and your patience, I won't actually read it, but I'll put a pin down in the description below for you guys to check out, because I thought it was an exceptional read that does give some reassurance. So again, a huge shout out to this account, Professor Stam, for giving us such informative information. And he also has a TLDR, which maybe I can cover on the video if I can find it right here. TLDR, tech advancement has made FinReg or finance regulation very dated. SVB wasn't on the greatest footing, but was largely taken down by virality and panic. Make sure you read those words, virality and panic. Social media risk needs to be defined and taken seriously. Because honestly, right now, what we saw with SVB, the majority of that fear came from social media, and people are not really paying attention. They think it's mainstream media, but that came secondary too. All the videos that were going viral of people standing in front of banks. Even me last night, I was sitting with my father-in-law and I was showing him footage of people standing in line in California waiting to pull out their cash Saturday morning. And where did they get that information? It wasn't breaking news headlines on CNN. Pay attention. Mainstream media was not trying to cover things to spread contagion. And lastly, bank needs to be more transparent about their businesses on socials. So make sure you're staying informed. Make sure you are paying attention to the sources that are providing you with information. Because unfortunately, right now, as we are in the social media age, if you will, where people are consuming content without really verifying it, it's unfortunate. And even this professor, I understand that he states he is somebody who has worked in this area of expertise for the last decade, but understand that also comes with its own potential that he could just be making that up. But based off what I read, it seemed like it was someone who at least did some significant research before just posting online. Do appreciate your support as always, so thank you all so much for tuning in. That's all I had for you guys today. Make sure you check out the link down below for Moomoo. Get your 17 free stocks when you deposit money. And until next time, everybody, as always, keep investing. Peace.